You're watching News Channel 18 at 6. News from where you live.
Police in Tippecanoe County have several resources to help the mentally ill.
But tonight in News Channel 18 series Cracks in the System, Nicole Kahn investigates if people are really getting the help they need. Nicole.
Gina, Jeff, it's officers who usually are the first to encounter someone having a mental health crisis. They tell me it's not always easy to quickly access resources needed to get someone help. That could mean less time on the streets for officers as they work to connect someone to services. Lafayette Police Sergeant Perry Amos has worn his badge for 20 years. He's seen many changes in how officers deal with the mentally ill. For years, there were only two choices: arrest someone or do nothing.
There's times when you kind of felt like you were short on options.
That changed 8 years ago. Amos was one of the first officers to receive a week of Crisis Intervention Training, or CIT. The program helps officers better understand mental illness and the resources available. About 1/4 of all officers in Tippecanoe County law enforcement agencies experience CIT. It widens the options they have for helping those who can harm themselves or others.
They did not want their loved one to be taken to jail because of behavior, because of the symptoms they were exhibiting due to their mental illness. But yet they needed someone to intervene in a crisis situation.
They steer people away from jails. You know, right now, jails and prisons are our largest mental health facility.
Sometimes officers can connect a person with outpatient help. Other times, if a person doesn't want help, an emergency detention is necessary. The process normally starts in the emergency department, where a doctor must give a medical clearance. That could take hours. An officer needs to stay with that person if they are aggressive or try to escape.
One of the longest I've been there went there at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we finally were able to get placement at 6 o'clock at night.
A judge must also sign an order for a 72-hour involuntary detention. Riverbend Hospital is the only facility in Tippecanoe County that accepts involuntary detentions for short-term emergency mental health crisis. The wait is extended if its 16 beds are filled, as hospital social workers are forced to look for an open bed outside of the county.
I know I personally have taken people all the way up to Logansport for placement.
That can mean officers off the streets for a significant amount of time. West Lafayette police officer Jeff Deckard also received crisis intervention training and runs into similar problems.
It does become an issue. There's limited resources on where people can go, and if the local facilities are full, then we have to find other options.
Sometimes it's harder to find an open bed.
Amos says Lafayette Police Department administrators have made the commitment to let CIT officers' cases come to a resolution no matter how long the process takes. Other officers are assigned to cover the CIT officers' duties. The number of calls police get involving someone who is mentally ill remains fairly steady. Lafayette Police report in 2009 officers took about 300 calls in connection with mental health issues. Last year, there were 317 calls. It's important to note, though, if someone with a mental illness does commit a crime, they are still held responsible for it. Tomorrow night, join me as News Channel 18 looks into the mental health facilities in Tippecanoe County and see what their challenges are to serving those who need help. Nicole Kahn, News Channel 18.